What is up, y'all? It is your girl ShayChannel. I'm talking low because it is nighttime. My son is sleeping. I wanted to give you a quick little story time, if you will, because I've only spoken about my single, Do You Hear Me, in terms of the meaning behind the lyrics, but I've never really talked about how I arrived at the song sonically, meaning why I decided to sing it the way that I did, why I approached it the way that I did, and it's all gonna make sense, right? So when I first heard the beat, I was sent the beat. My manager sent me the beat, and when I heard it, I was like, I like this. It's different. It's trap-like, you know, that whole trap soul vibe, and I really felt like the music was built for that of a rapper. And I liked the fact that I was gonna sing on this beat, right? Especially in the inspirational space, you don't really hear artists singing to that kind of a track, right? And so that attracted me. And when I first heard it, I thought of the Migos. And rest in peace, Takeoff, and condolences and prayers goes out to him and his family. It is super unfortunate what happened to him. I'm not even gonna go down the rabbit hole about what my theory is on this, but what I will say is, once again, condolences goes out to him and his family, because what happened was just awful and terrible. But legit, fun fact, I never told y'all this, but when I heard the track, it reminded me of a song that the Migos would rap on. And one thing that I love about the Migos, I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning I was like, yo, who are these kids? And like, what is this, right? But when my husband was like, nah, babe, you gotta really give it a listen, and we were going somewhere. And for all my drivers out there, if you drive and you drive on the regular, the best place to listen to music, in my opinion, is in your car. You hear it, you experience it in a totally different way when you're driving. And so we were driving somewhere and he played their songs, Bad and Bougie, and that stood out to me right away. And I love how when the song first starts, I think it's Offset that starts talking. He's like, you know, when you got old money, like he goes on this whole thing. And so when I heard the track to Do You Hear Me, I immediately felt the need or was inspired to talk on the track, which is why I start the song off with saying, you know, sometimes it seems as if God doesn't hear our prayers, right? That was actually inspired by the Migos because, once again, the beat, the track sounded like something they would have rapped on. And so I approached the song as that of what a rapper would, even though I was singing it. Now, it doesn't mean that I sat down and I was all in my head and cerebral about it, like I'm going to sing the song like a rapper. No, it didn't happen that way. I just literally freestyled the song and was running to write the lyrics down on index cards. Y'all know I like to use my number 2 pencil and them good index cards, or my voice app, right? So I was starting to freestyle the lyrics. I'm sitting at my computer desk and I'm like, I am so confused and stressed, don't know what I'm gonna do, right? And I was like, oh, let me, I started writing things down. Tried to hit you on the main line, a lot to say, a lot that's on my mind. I just really started literally writing it down, and because it was coming to me so quickly. And so I pretty much freestyled the song. I freestyled the first most of the song, and then when I got to the studio to record it for my second session of working on that song, I freestyled the rest. So my writing process is very odd and different. That's how I know it's bigger than me, right? Where that comes from. I believe I do have a gift of songwriting, and so I just really sung what I heard in my head. And then after I wrote everything, I started to, hear the background vocals, and I started to hear, I just started to hear little nuances. And so the format of Do You Hear Me is very different and unorthodox, if you will, because normally singers and vocalists they approach a song, you sing the first verse, you kind of sing it simply. By the time you get to that hook, you're ad-libbing. By the time you get to the next hook, you're ad-libbing even more. I saved all the ad-libs. Hold on, y'all, hold on. Okay, somebody woke up from their slumber. Say hi, Wubsy. And so for some reason, I didn't hear ad-libs throughout the song. I only heard ad-libs in the place of what would traditionally be a bridge. And that's when the music dropped. Because really, if I'm gonna keep it all the way real with y'all, the track was very short. The track was like a little over 2 minutes. And so when I initially recorded Do You Hear Me in December of 2021, it was so short. So I went back in April of 2022 because, one of my managers was like, if you really want this song to be on radio and things of that nature, it needs to be longer. So when I went back in, I actually liked the idea of how I initially ended the song, where I'm singing a cappella. And so I said, let's pick up from there. So I continued to sing a cappella. And then I said, we're gonna fuse in those backgrounds that I love, fuse that back in, and then the beat will drop again. And then, because the song needed finality, I'm going to speak from the perspective of what God was saying to me as far as I did hear you, right? And so it just was very different.